So you have this delightful mix between kind of strong female powerhouse energy and the most like divine, loving, motherly, like just bring everyone into the fold energy. And it's just like it's beautiful. Like it's just this beautiful like goddess energy. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to connect with that. And what would you like guidance on today?
Sure. Thank you for um, your light and your transmission. I have moved, like, my life has changed very drastically, probably over the last 5 years, but very much so the last 6 months. I kind of left my city life. I've moved up to the country in the woods, and I moved to a town where I don't know anybody. And so in this process, and my mom had recently passed away, so my parents are no longer. Um, and my career recently totally went away. So there's a lot of themes coming up for me around
Yeah.
safety, and even like a space holder I've been working with to get through a lot of grief and trauma. There was a rupture in that container recently. And so there's a lot of having to self resource, but of resistance, like this deep sadness of like, I'm walking this path alone. I'm not married. I don't have children. And it keeps coming back to showing me of coming back to myself. But there's also part of me that is fighting it. And there's that spark of joy in life. Like, I have a lot of support. And while I've been here, I have had access to angelic guides that have, come online for me. So there has been a lot of beautiful openings, but it feels very like solitary, and there's a lot of deep sadness. And I've been in these deep waters, and I'm trying to get guidance. Like, how can I start to shift that and to
Yeah.
feel more safe and secure in where my purpose is and my life is and
Yeah.
that stuff?
Giving you a big virtual hug.
Thanks.
And you guys are asking me to ask you if you don't mind sharing what motivated the move.
It was to really be in nature and to feel that, really, the nature part, and to feel like I have a space to anchor in that's mine,
Okay.
but not to be stuck here. So it's like an anchor point, and to really, like, I haven't been resonating with urban living, and to kind of meet people that are more like-minded, and this area resonated. I had like a kind of walkabout for a year where I traveled a lot, and I was like, is this my home? Is this my home? And so this kind of just immediately was a yes.
So the spiritual teacher Abraham Hicks has a phrase that I think will help you a lot right now because you're doing a lot of questioning. You didn't articulate it, but I see it in your head. A lot of questioning about
Yeah.
the choice that you made.
Yeah.
And the expression is make a choice and make it right.
Hmm.
Okay. Because so often in this human world, we're like, did I do that? And I'm an overthinker in that respect. So I could get this one tattooed on my arm because I need it. But the idea is we often question our choices like as if there's one right way or there's one right thing. And we're always guided. And of course, some decisions feel more right at the time and then they can change. And sometimes a decision doesn't feel right and we do it anyway. And then we find that there was a reason why it didn't feel right. And, that's what your intuition is for, to guide you in that way. And any choice that you make from any place that you find yourself, right? You can always move forward and get to where you want to go. Okay. There's not one path. You are creating that path all the time. And so it has more to do with what you believe and, you know, um, your guides, I've always been taught intuition shows you it shows you the best steps relative to your path of least resistance. So if you have a question, you want to know where you want to go, right? You have all these belief systems and all this conditioning, and your guides and your higher self are just tabulating, given all of that garbage down there, what's the next best step, right?
Hmm.
Okay. But here on the ground, right, we can choose what to focus on. We can choose what to believe. We can, right. And so they would like to invite you not to beat yourself up or question your decision right now. It'll all kind of come clear to you as you move forward what the next best steps are. But for now, it's around making this choice and really celebrating the good things about where you're at, right? Without sort of worrying about maybe something you left behind or was there a better choice, because all those things will be revealed. So, right now, your next best step is to celebrate the choice that you made and start to find the gold in it, even if you don't stay there, which you very well might. But because that will orient you away from the second guessing that I have the sense that you're doing, even though you didn't articulate it. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the first thing. It'll also help you wherever we can find joy in where we are. And I know that's been a challenge. You've had a ton of loss and you're feeling isolated, and a lot of things are, feel like they're going wrong. But if you can start to celebrate the choice that you made and the things that you like about that choice, even if you end up making a different choice tomorrow, it's going to help free you a lot and it's going to help shift your energy. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's, I get to be in nature, spend some time in nature. It's so quiet here. This is really great, right? If it's joining a wilderness, like a hiking group or something like that, because those are the people you want to meet, do that, right?
Mhm.
Start to celebrate what brought you to this experience so that you can enjoy it more. And also recognize that oftentimes when we make choices from our brains, from our minds, right, it's very binary thinking. And so we're thinking it's this or that or that or this, or you know what I mean? And sometimes that gets in the way of finding our sweet spot. And so the way to find your sweet spot is, number one, and this has come up a couple times today, so it's so fascinating. Allow yourself to sometimes be wrong. Wrong just means, I don't think you're wrong, by the way. I think this was a great choice. I think it was exactly what you needed right now. I think it's just about celebrating all the reasons why you did it and enjoying all the benefits that it has. And then you'll see if this is a long-term thing or just where you need it to be right now, because that's what your soul needed right now. When I moved to San Diego, I had such a deep calling to be near the water, to be able to walk to the beach. It was so important to me. One of the things that I've discovered about living as close to the beach as I do in San Diego is sun is a little more limited here than it is if I lived 15 minutes inland, and I really like the sun. So at some point I may shift. It wasn't a mistake moving here. I'm so grateful. I've made amazing friends. The energy here is amazing. Being able to walk to the beach, the trails, the history of the street that I lived on, all of those energies I needed so much at the time that I knew them. And then also having lived in California now for 4 years, I sometimes think I might want to live a little bit further inland so that there's more reliable sun. Right. And then I just let it be there. And I know that if that comes to fruition, then I'll follow that nudge, but I don't beat myself up about the choice that I made now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, this choice was an intuition. It
I
wasn't a
know.
mom's choice. So
Yeah.
that's why my mind is now questioning it, but the intuition led me
Yes,
here. So,
exactly. Exactly. So start to take the benefits of being there and know too, your intuition is always telling you like what your next best step is relative to where you are. I've had people that intuitively moved one place and then intuitively moved somewhere else 6 months later. I'm not telling you to do that either. You're good where you are. I'm just,
mhm. Yeah,
but
yeah.
like in the mind says, oh, you buy a place, you have to live there 5 years. Why? If what you
Mhm,
get is in the first 5 minutes, then you're good, you're done, move on. The soul works from a different metric than the human mind. Okay.
mhm.
The
Yeah.
second thing that your guides want you to know is that you are processing a ton of grief right now. I mean, you know that with your mind, but they want you to know too. And some of it is deferred grief that even started before these losses. It's like all of the loss of who you wanted to be and what you thought you should have done in your life is all coming up now.
Mhm.
Okay? Compounded by significant losses like jobs and family members. So it's pretty huge. But what they want you to know is this is kind of like a shedding process. Okay. And what, if you look at it like a shedding process, is I'm getting rid of all of those old ideologies, all of those old layers and masks and senses of myself and other people's views of myself and other people's expectations of what I was supposed to do and who I was supposed to be. This is an opportunity for me to let go of all of those things so that I can really tap in and be who I am. You have such a ginormous motherly energy. I cannot imagine that you have not been mothering everyone in your world since you came out of the womb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, though you may not have yet had children of your own, and that may or may not be in the cards for you, I don't know what your plans or your interest is. You have your guides say you have embodied the divine mother energy beautifully, and now it's your turn to give it back to yourself. To give it back to yourself, and most importantly, to allow other people to bring it to you. And you're going to start more and more as you bring it to yourself, as you allow it, and you're going to start to bring and find the people that can really like take care of you in a clean, clear, and aligned way. Okay. Rather than past experiences with people that could get a little of the job done, but it's like, it was 2 sips of milk and 10,
Yeah.
sips of scotch. And, scotch isn't great when you're nursing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're really part of a great thing. But they say keep resourcing yourself, keep honoring yourself, and keep celebrating the decision you made. Look for reasons to be happy here rather than questioning yourself. And remember too, it's as someone who moved cross country a couple years ago, and though I never doubted the decision, it's like it wasn't easy at first. There were moments at first when I was like, wait, what was I thinking? It seemed like so much fun when my guides were telling me to do it, and now I have to make friends and find the grocery store, and so be gentle with yourself around that. It will take time. But I do agree with you. I think that you're really where you need to be right now, and your guide's final words to you, my friend, is cherish yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sending you so much love.
Thank you.
Yeah. And some of that love, if you deserve all of it 10 times back showered upon you. And I hope you can receive that. But they're saying she took like 1% of the love that she's put out of the world and just stream that back in. That would be more than enough because you have given so much.
Yeah.
Okay. But it should be like 100 times what you've put out, because we're infinite and we should just keep bringing it in.
Yeah.
All right. Namaste.
Thank you.